Hello, fellas. By the time you see this, I'll have just finished Reminiscence, and since I was recording this on the last day, it was available to stream for the first release at HBO Max. The film is the feature directorial debut of Westworld series co-creator Lisa Joy. It is something of a neo-noir sci-fi mystery, which stars Hugh Jackman, and Tandy Newton, Rebecca Ferguson, and Daniel Wu, and Cliff Curtis, all actors I like and have been things I've enjoyed before. Or so, it's a near future. The film takes place in near future version of New Orleans, where due to rising in global unrest, in this case environmental and economic, especially, people will reminisce about memories in a vivid fashion and technology, and they have to uncover a conspiracy which involves these memories and these details being found within them. So, a pretty heady premise, and it doesn't quite stick to the landing. It's a very ambitious film, but it's also admittedly not a conventional one. And but overall, I think it's all right. I mean, it reminds me a lot of a previous film with a similar concept, which also had Jackman in it, The Fountain, by Darren Aronofsky, I mentioned before. Though this movie is not quite as good as The Fountain, it's definitely something I would not have otherwise watched if it wasn't also available at home. Because there weren't any theaters near me showing it, and while we may debate about how other ones like say like the Suicide Squad and Space Jam and Legacy might have done under quote unquote normal circumstances, but those films clearly have their audiences. This one is definitely a bit more niche. Still, as I keep learning, sometimes movie can surprise you. I did not know what to expect from the Mortal Kombat reboot, and I rather liking the Mortal Kombat reboot. I definitely did not know what to expect from Judas and Black Messiah, and that ended up being has been one of my favorite movies of the year so far. And and this one, I don't know what the whole reception is going to be like. I mean, visually, it looks quite impressive. I mean, I think they made a lot of good use of the setting, especially a a I especially like how they made use of the old Jazzland Six Flags New Orleans theme park, which was going to be expanded before Katrina hit, and as a result has instead been used in a lot of the movies, which include Jurassic World, Dawn of Planet of the Apes, and now this one, it's a scene where Jackman Ferguson's characters are in another memory. But even I'm not sure how it would have done if we weren't in a pandemic, which is fundamentally upended the usual experience. But I would say, hey, hey, it's definitely interesting given how this one actually had the worst 3,000 theater plus opening ever, which is again why I'm suddenly a bit less disappointed with the performance thus far of both Space Jam and Legacy and with the and the Suicide Squad. I mean, this movie cost, as I just mentioned, because of the effects work and location shoots, like $110 million to make, and so far has grossed back just $3 million domestically and $18 million worldwide, which even with the asterisks that are currently being placed on a lot of the release calendar is pretty abysmal no matter what a, a kind of codifiers try to add, man. I mean, of course, Free Guy ended up doing a bit better than expected, even with these circumstances. That one, and was not expected to do so hot, but ended up being a lot more enjoyable than one expected. I mean, and obviously that film had a different target audience. And admittedly, the speculative fiction concepts I really like, but the mystery aspect is where things kind of get a bit formulaic. I mean, I'm not inherently against the idea of making like neo-noir detective story or with this concept. I mean, heck, one of my favorite films that uses the ideas is Dark City, especially in terms of the director's cut. I mean, which was also one that dealt with a man trying to discover the other unravel a larger conspiracy in a setting in which uses elements of both of nostalgic and futuristic visual aesthetics. I mean, and who knows? I don't know what the reception of this one movie is going to look like in the future, but it's definitely. Hey, I've seen honestly worse ways to spend an hour and 56 minutes. I mean, I definitely, even within the past year. So I, anyway, another intro for HBO Max and Relax series. I'll probably be doing Reminiscence Newark and maybe Cry Macho in one video. I mean, depending how I feel. I am still planning to see Adam's Family 2, who, and Villain Big Carnage. Even though I have had to put my Bondathon on hold, I am still instancing No Time to Die. Dune, I'm also planning to see both at home and theatrically, as well as let's do a spoiler review in November, most likely. So, I'm also got at least 10-15% of my Neo script drafted in my head, my Pixar Marathon. About, say, 20 percent of the most. So, anyway, that'll be all for now. Take care, everyone.